This meeting is being recorded.
Hey, Hare Krishna, everyone. So we are reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 17. And today we'll start with text 25. Everybody there?
Yes, Prabhuji, I am there.
Okay, good. अन्यथा जे माने तार नाही के निस्तार नाहि 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 इतिन एव प्रकार. Translation. This verse clearly states that anyone who accepts any other path cannot be delivered. This is the reason for the triple repetition, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else, which emphasizes the real process of self-realization. So what is it referring to when it says
Hare Naam
Ah,
Kevalam, Kalyo Vinaste Vinaste Gatar Anatha.
Bilkul. So Hare Naam, Hare Naam, Hare Naam. It's nothing other than the holy name of the Lord in this age of Kali. That is the real process for self-realization. And text 25, by saying Nahi, Nahi, Nahi 3 times, is emphasizing. That's the Vedic tradition. When you want to emphasize something, you say it 3 times.
Prabhu, can you repeat the link, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. The link?
I mean the chapter and Adi Lila?
Okay. Adi Lila, chapter 17.
17.
Text 25 is what we just did.
17:25. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, no problem. Anybody else? Okay.
Okay, last chapter.
Okay, text 26. दृढ़ है ते नीच हुइया सदा लोभे नाम आपनी निरभिमानी अन्य देवे मान. To chant the holy name always, one should be humbler than the grass in the street and devoid of all desire for personal honor. But one should offer others all respectful obeisances. So what verse is it reminding you of again? From Shikshastakam?
Shikshastakam.
Which verse?
Ammanina mananena kirtanaya sadahari.
Right. So Pranada Pisunichena. So that's basically the next verse we'll see. So we'll talk about that in more detail. Text 31. Pranada Pisunichena, Taroriva Sahishnuna, Amanina Manadena,
Kirtaniya Sadahari.
One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, who does not expect personal honor, yet is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. So read the purport and we'll talk about this because these are very important verses. Somebody wants to read the purport?
I can, Prabhu.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I'm
28.
something. I'm sorry.
There is
We
no
mixed.
purport, Prabhu.
I think I missed it.
I think you missed some
We
of
missed
the.
one, Prabhu.
Yes.
I think missed one. Yes.
No, so
You missed
no, text
27.
28. No, 27.
27, Prabhuji, you missed that.
Yeah, okay. So let's go back 27. Tarusam Sahishnata Vaishnava Karibe Bhartsan Tarne Kake Kichu na Bolibe. A devotee engaged in chanting the holy name of the Lord should practice forbearance like that of a tree. Even if rebuked or chastised, we should not say anything to others to retaliate. So we're going to talk about the quality of the tree in the next verse. काट ले हूं तरुजेन किछु न बोले शुकाइया मरे तबु जल न मांगे. For even if one cuts a tree, it never protests. And even if it is drying up and dying, it does not ask anyone for water. So read the purport, please.
Prabhupada Bhaishla Prabhupada.
Yes.
This practice of forbearance, terror eva sahishuna, taroravi api sahishuna, is very difficult. But when
No,
one
sir. Wait
actually
a
engages.
minute. Why did you change it? It's Taror Eva.
Terror eva?
Yeah. You know, 99% of scholars sings this verse wrong. The correct
Wrong.
is
That's
Taror
why
Eva.
I
Yeah.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, if
Huh?
I may point out, I just found this in Hari Parshad Prabhu's one of the lectures from Shishtastakam. Different books have different version of this verse. Some have Taror Api, Trinad Api, some have Taror Iva Trinad Api.
So which book is that? We're
so
reading Chaitanya Charitamrita from Srila Prabhupada.
yes,
Okay.
yes, I also looked up.
bhajan book.
No,
Forget
not the
Bhajan.
bhajan book has api, both api.
Forget Bhajan book.
Api. Yeah, bhajan book has api.
I know, but
Yes,
Bhajan book is not Prabhupada's purport.
the one that I am referring to is my Chaitanya Charitamrita version has both api, but there are books which have different api and iva. So there is some confusion. Latest reprints have both api, and the original ones have api and iva.
This is pretty latest.
Mine, because we actually spoke. Some people had those reprints. I'm actually trying to think which.
Anyway, the point is,
Yeah.
we're reading this purport, just keep going with Taror Eva, and then if you don't like it, you can change it on your own. Okay?
This
Go ahead.
practice of forbearance, Taror Eva Asahishuna, is very difficult, but when one actually engages in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, the quality of forbearance automatically develops. A person advanced in spiritual consciousness through the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra need not practice to develop it separately. For a devotee develops all good qualities simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra regularly.
Right. So, 2 points are being made. The tolerance, the forbearance. What does tolerance mean here? What does tolerance mean?
Tolerate means not to retaliate when somebody is talking something against the scripture or against even our own Guru Maharaj. We got to walk away from there, not to retaliate, not to make some protest against that person.
Okay. Anything else?
Talking something wrong against the devotee, I think, or the scripture, we should retaliate.
Okay. Let's talk
If
about.
somebody is talking against the scriptures, but by being nature humble, it's talking about being for a nature, we should be humble and,
So let's talk
listen
about
to the person.
somebody says something against you.
Yes,
We
Prabhuji.
should not retaliate on that.
You should
Hmm.
not
Listen humbly.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's hear from Priya Sundari Mataji, and we'll hear from Shalini Mataji.
Prabhu, ability to withstand provoking situation.
Yes.
So that would be tolerance.
And that happens a lot. People bait you.
Trigger.
Yeah. Okay. Shalini Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So again, agreeing with what Priya Sundari Mataji said, it's not getting affected because not getting agitated, Prabhu. We have to tolerate anybody reacting or saying something about yourself, but not about Lord or the scriptures or any devotee, Prabhu.
Okay. Where does Krishna say tolerate? In Bhagavad Gita.
Divine qualities.
Sorry?
Matra Sparshas, yeah.
Yes, 214. Exactly. It's telling you to tolerate. Why? Because these things are all temporary. Because what happens if you don't tolerate? You'll be thinking about this. And while you're thinking about this, your mood will not be right, your chanting will not be good. Okay. So that's one point.
Prabhuji, also it depends, Prabhuji, I would say it depends on the on the time and the place and the circumstances. Sometimes you retaliate on this thing and the things could get worse. So it's better to keep quiet and just tolerate and walk away, Prabhuji. That is what my personal opinion. I may be wrong, Prabhuji, but
So
this
when
is
is it
what
right?
has happened in my. Pardon?
So when is it right to retaliate?
No, not to retaliate because it could make the situation worse at certain
Okay. So you're saying
circumstances.
never retaliate. I thought you said sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Devi Shakti?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Damrat Pranam.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I have a question here. Like, this is so contradicting because we also, like I know many a times when we were reading even the previous verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have seen in so many places, even Mahaprabhu was insulted, but then he tolerated, and later on, people could know he is so knowledgeable, and then like he explained everything to everybody. But in daily life situation, like for people, normal people like us, इट इज ऑल्सो टोल्ड कि जैसे हिंदी में भी हम वो कहावत है ना कि गलती सहना भी गलत है. आप अगर अपने सामने गलत होते देख रहे हैं एंड यू आर टॉलरेटिंग दैट, देन ऑल्सो इट्स रॉन्ग because you are allowing that wrong thing to happen in front of
So
you.
give an example.
ऐसा कोई एग्जैक्ट एग्जाम्पल तो नहीं है, बट suppose I see somebody like beating a innocent person in front of me, and I know that person is innocent, then won't I stop?
So
Or we should tolerate the situation.
don't confuse mitigating a situation
About.
with retaliating. Retaliating means you start hitting the other person. Mitigating means you stop the person. They're two very different things. Right? Because you don't know what provoked, you don't know the whole situation, and suddenly you're getting involved. So at best, you should be mitigating it.
Mhm. And what if Prabhuji, suppose if I see some senior devotee, they are doing something wrong, which I know, like this is wrong. Should I go and stop them?
So
Or
you
we
go
should
into a
tolerate?
very dangerous area. My question always is, who died and made you the judge?
That's
Why-
true, Prabhuji. I know, like, we should not judge.
Well, so
But
then
if
you're
I...
judging. You're judging that he's wrong. Right? So I mean, like,
But then,
Prabhuji,
Prabhu, then we should
but
let the
Prabhuji,
wrong do.
okay, Mataji, we're getting
If
totally off the
obviously
topic
some
here.
person is...
We're getting totally off the topic. But understand something, it's not always straightforward. It is not always what it looks like. So you have to be very careful. Second thing is, be aware of your own rights and authority. What right do you have to intervene? What authority do you have to intervene? You can make situation worse. Okay, so let's move on because I don't want to get stuck in this discussion.
Yeah, that's right, Prabhuji. Let's go on.
It's not that relevant. But Devani, if you want to discuss it with me later on after the class, I'll be happy to do that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Sure, no problem. So another point it's making is that through the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, a devotee develops all good qualities. So actually, there's a very wonderful verse in 5th canto of Bhagavatam, also repeated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila. It says, Yasyakti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvaya gunaya tatra samasate sura harava bhaktas kuto mahadguna manorathena asati dhavato bhahi, which says basically that all the qualities of demigods become manifest in the person who has developed unalloyed devotion for Krishna. On the other hand, a person who has no devotional service attitude and is always engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if somebody is adept at, mystic yoga or maintaining his family, he's probably working on mental speculation and serving Maya. Therefore, any good qualities cannot be happen in that person. So good qualities are being defined as the serving of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That only happens when you chant the holy name of the Lord. Okay? Text 29. एही मत वैष्णव कार्य किछु न मांगिब अयाचित व्यक्ति किमा शाक फल खाइब. Thus, a Vaishnava should not ask anything from anyone else. If someone gives him something without being asked, he should accept it. But if nothing comes, a Vaishnava should be satisfied to eat whatever vegetables and fruits are easily available. So there's a very famous story about a very famous devotee who did not ask for anything and waited for somebody to give something to him before he ate it. And one time he was very hungry, and Krishna came with a pot of milk. Who was that devotee?
Madhavendra Puri.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. It's Madhavendra Puri. So he has the Ayachika Vritti. He wouldn't ask for anything. Krishna made arrangements, great. Krishna did not make arrangements, that's great also. So that's a characteristic of Vaishnava being described. So tolerance and then Ayachika Vritti, which is not asking for anything. Text 30. Sada nam loibo yatha labhete santosh. Eit achar kare bhakti dharma posh. One should strictly follow the principle of always chanting the holy name, and one should be satisfied with whatever he gets easily. Such devotional behavior solidly maintains one's devotional service. So these are things to do, to observe, to follow, to maintain our devotional service, because it's not easy. Prabhupada said, devotional service is simple but not easy. There are lot of obstacles, lot of problems, lot of distractions, lot of allurements. So many things that go against devotional service that we have to continuously fight. So these are some of the characteristics being told us to us to observe so we can maintain our devotional service. So now the verse that we're referring to, Pranadapi Sunichena, Tarori was Hishrana, Amanina Manaden, Kirtiniya Sadahari. So translation, one who thinks himself lower than the grass, who's more tolerant than a tree, does not expect personal honor, yet is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. So let's read the purport. Any volunteers?
I can read, Prabhu. The grass is specifically mentioned in this verse because everyone tramples upon it, yet the grass never protests. This example indicates that a spiritual master or leader should not be proud of his position, being always humbler than an ordinary common man. He should go on preaching the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna.
So we talked about being humble, lower than the grass. We talked about tolerant like a tree. Now let's talk about what's the problem with expecting personal honor. What's the problem?
It's the pride, Prabhu.
Huh.
Yes.
And what's the problem with
It's
pride?
like a pride. And then pride is one of the anartha. It vanishes our bhakti basically.
Yes. So how does Krishna react to anybody's pride?
He goes away from them. He doesn't give them service then.
Sometimes he does more than that. So what is it that he does?
Humbles them.
Humbles them, exactly. Sometimes smashes them into like a mashed potato. There's an example of Arishtasur. He was very proud and he was looking at Krishna standing with his friend and he came charging at him. And what did Krishna do? He picked him up by the horns, threw him a great distance, He almost fainted. He came back running. And this time, Krishna picked him up, started banging him on the ground, just like a washerman in India in the old days used to do with a cloth. Time and again, you hit it to the floor, hit it up to the floor. That's what he was doing. Really smashing his ego to anything. Anybody else you can think of who's
Dhobi Pachak.
Huh?
Dhobi Pachak.
Yeah. Anybody else you can think of whose ego was
Brahma Vimohan Lila.
Brahma Viman Lila.
Brahman Bhavan Lila? Absolutely right. Anything else?
Lifting the Govardhan. Indra.
Indus Lila, exactly. Exactly. So I have many examples of Krishna doing that. Even like Hiranyakashipu, like was so proud. Okay, let me do. So
Even when the monks, one of the monks was feeding Mahaprabhu without offering the food, Mahaprabhu, the bird came in, so
yeah,
they
the
also
Buddhists,
got their lesson.
the Buddhists were
Buddhist
doing
monk.
that. That wasn't so much
Yes.
proud, there was so much envy because they were envious of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu getting so much respect, but their guru was none.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay, and then next it says, and give respect to others. So what's the reason for that?
Because everyone is a part and parcel of Lord, so we should see spiritual Lord situated in the heart of everyone.
Yes, okay, yes. But it's also part of being humble. Like, who would not give respect to other people? Who thinks I'm better than you?
Yes, that's right,
If
Prabhuji.
you think you're better than him, you will not give respect. So only when you think, no, you're not better than him, you'll give respect.
Yeah.
Right? So,
And Prabhu,
again, sorry?
Krishna says, right, one who's learned, he sees everyone with the same vision, right?
Right.
Yeah, like 5.18, right?
Yeah.
Vidya Vinaya
Yeah.
Samane. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that's 31. Let's do 32 now. उर्ध बाहु करी कहो सुन सर्वलोक नाम सूत्रे गांधी पर कंठे ए श्लोक. What please somebody? Oh no, translation. Raising my hands, I declare, everyone please hear me. String this verse on a thread of the holy name and wear it on your neck of continuous remembrance. So again, Trinata Vishnu verse. Everybody please string this verse on a thread of the holy name and wear it on your neck of continuous remembrance. Let's do the purport.
Can I read it, Prabhuji?
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, you.
One of you go ahead, please.
Should I read it, Prabhuji, then? Okay, I will read it then. When chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the beginning, one may commit many offenses, which are called Nama Bhasha and Nam Aprada. In this stage, there is no possibility of achieving perfect love of Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, one must chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra according to the principles of the above verse. Taranap api su nechan taro eva sahashanuna. One should note in this connection that chanting involves the activities of the upper and lower lips as well as the tongue. All three must be engaged in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The word Hare Krishna should be very distinctly pronounced and heard. Sometimes one mechanically produces the hissing sound instead of chanting with the proper pronunciation with the help of the lips and tongue. Chanting is very simple, but one must practice it seriously. Therefore, the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Das Kaviraj, advises everyone to keep this verse always stung about his neck.
Okay. Thank you. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do one more verse before I come back to this. So, text 33. प्रभु आज्ञाय करो এই শ্লোক আচরণ অবশ্য পাইবে তবে শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চরণ translation. One must strictly follow the principles given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this verse. If one simply follows in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya and the Goswamis, certainly he will achieve the ultimate goal of life, the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Okay, I want to combine these two because the point is we should understand why are we chanting. So somebody tell me, why are we chanting? What's the purpose?
For
We
our
are chanting.
purification.
Okay, go ahead.
For our purification.
Okay, is that the ultimate goal, really?
No.
Establishing a
The ultimate goal
relationship
is
with Krishna.
Establish relationship. Okay, but a little bit more than that.
to get
To
love.
achieve- Right.
to the love of Godhead.
So
To
that
achieve,
is the
to achieve the love of God.
okay.
Mm.
That is the ultimate goal of chanting. Now,
Mm.
what do we do when we chant? We turn this into a exercise. Just let me meet my quota. My Guru Maharaj told me, and I promised in front of the deities, I will chant 16 rounds. So now, as conditioned souls, we are into instant gratification. Somehow we've been trained. Like we want instant gratification. Madhumata, you're making faces. Does it not make sense to you?
Okay.
Okay, so we want instant gratification. Everything around us is designed now in the material world for instant gratification. Used to be television had only 12 channels. And you had to go to the TV monitor to change the channel. And then came the remote and different versions of the remote. Why? And then came 1,000 channels. Because you're not happy with one, you want to change. But you don't want to get up. So sitting on the sofa, you can change. Instant gratification. Anything else we want, instant gratification. So same thing, we're looking for something that will give us instant gratification. Now, obtaining love of Krishna, is that instant gratification?
No.
No, it's life, maybe how many lives maybe, right? So we don't put so much emphasis on that. We want instant gratification of saying, I met my quota. I made a promise to my Guru Maharaj, 16 rounds, after 16 rounds, done. And a lot of times we are in a rush to do it. So we don't pronounce properly because we're in a hurry. So the sooner we can do it, the better it is. So now we're making the goal to finish the 16 rounds. Are we in a hurry? So we mispronounce words. We eat a few words. If you hear many people chanting, they don't chant all the 32 words. They don't. Somebody is Hare, somebody is Ram, somebody is Krishna, or somebody was they're not pronouncing the words properly. Why? They are in a hurry. Instant gratification. So here in text 33, Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying the goal is to attain Krishna Prema. So then we should focus on what will give us Krishna Prema. If you're doing offenses, there's no way to get Krishna Prema. As a matter of fact, there's a verse spoken by Lord Chaitanya himself. He says, Bahu janma kare yadi shavana kirtan tabu na paye Krishna pade premana. Somebody may be chanting for many, many lifetimes, still not get love of Krishna. Why? Because chanting is faulty. So one of the faults in chanting we talk about is Nam Aparadha. How many Nam Aparadhas are there? How many?
3, right?
Sorry?
3? 3?
No.
16.
How many offenses against the holy name? 10. Thank you. Shishalja.
Oh, now okay. I misunderstood the question.
No
Sorry.
problem. No problem. So 10 offenses. So we do almost all of them, but at least the first and the 10th. Offending the devotees and maintaining material attachment and not being attentive. At least those two. So as long as we're doing that, we're not going to get love of Krishna. But how many of us try very hard to not commit those offenses? Last week we talked about chanting while listening to a class, chanting when other chanting is going on, or chanting when observing arti. So many things. Forget about the material activities, even devotional activities. But says no, it's chanting only when you're chanting. No other distractions. So that's the offensive stage. Then once you become somewhat purified, you get to the namabhas stage, where like it appears like you're getting there, but you're not quite there yet. So that's the intermediate stage. But only when the chanting is shuddha, pure, then only we'll develop love of Krishna. So we should never lose sight of why are we chanting. It's not to finish the quota, not to tell Guru Maharaj, yes, I'm chanting 16 rounds every day. It's to chant without offenses. And we should be very careful. I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. But if you're not conscious of that, then Krishna consciousness will not develop. Love will not develop. Okay, one other thing I just thought of something we were discussing before. How do we know we're making progress on the path of devotional service? I remember this because we were discussing this topic just a few minutes ago.
On the scale of how humble we are becoming.
That's one.
And how much you can tolerate?
Tolerate, exactly right. We can, because humble we may not be able to measure, but tolerate we can measure. How much are we able to tolerate? Then you know, if you're able to tolerate more today than you were yesterday, then you're making progress. If you're tolerating less now than before, not making progress. And that is why sometimes we see some so-called very senior devotees, no tolerance. Then you know they're senior in age only, not in stage. It's an age. So
most of that Prabhuji could be proud, you know.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course.
That is one of the main factors. When somebody is doing some sadhana or something, then the person feels, now I am something now in the society.
Yes, they become puffed up very easy. It's so easy to become puffed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Text 34. तबे प्रभु शिवासेर गृह निरंतर रात्रि संकीर्तन कैल एक संवत्सर. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regularly led congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the house of Shiva's Thakur every night for 1 full year. So what is the definition of Sankirtan, by the way?
Chanting together, Prabhuji, in a group.
That's part of it, yes.
Even reading together.
Okay.
Chanting together, reading together, and singing together.
There are other components that you're missing.
So, Prabhu,
Sorry, one person at a time. Aditi, go ahead.
When one is leading and then others are repeating.
No, that's a scholar response. That's a scholar response.
Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. No. Okay, Rajan Prabhu.
Loudly.
Prabhuji, what's the question, please?
What is the definition of Sankirtan? So I heard two things. One is
chanting, reading, and book distribution.
Okay, you're all right. I was going different point.
Together.
Staying with chanting. Staying with chanting.
Sankirtan means like chanting the Maha Mantra in a group.
Okay, so that's part of it. That's part of it. There's something more.
Glorifying Krishna.
Sorry, Sushila Matam?
Glorifying Krishna.
Yes, that's the third component, glorifying the Lord. Gautam Prabhu?
Yes.
Dancing together.
Sorry, Prabhu?
Dancing together as well.
Dancing together, okay. All right, so let's look at Sankirtan. So there's two words that compound form Sankirtan, Samyak and Kirtan. So Kirtan could be actually anything. I could be singing Mandole, Tandole, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all Kirtan. But Kirtan that's directed towards the Lord. Okay, that's one point. Samyak means, I'm sorry. Kirtan also means that multiple people are doing it together. Okay, so multiple people doing it together, then loudly. So multiple people doing it together loudly. And samyak means complete. So samyak complete in two senses. One is kirtan for glorification of somebody who's samyak, complete. And that's Krishna. Krishna is the only complete. Right? And complete glorification of the complete personality of Krishna. Which means nothing but. So this is why a lot of sometimes you hear these bhajans from Vrindavan, and they're all nonsense bhajans, but they talk about Krishna. So it's not Sankirtan. Even though Krishna is there, but it's not Sankirtan because they are talking about, Om Jai Jagdish Hare, Sukh Sampatti Ghar Aave, Kashtapate Tanka. They're talking about getting something. That's not glorification. That's also not complete glorification. When you put some material quality into Krishna, it's not complete glorification. Sankirtan is complete glorification of the complete personality of Supreme Personality of Godhead by multiple people chanting together loudly. That is Sankirtan. That's the definition given by Jiva Goswami. So, and some people are saying Sankirtan is also book distribution. I agree, totally right. Reading Bhagavatam, totally right. But I was talking about chanting together. What is the meaning of the word Sankirtan? Okay. Similarly, book distribution. If you're distributing something other than books that glorify Krishna, then it's not Sankirtan. And we become a little more, what's the word? Can't think of the word. But we become more protective in that we say Prabhupada books only. Because we know they are pure. Others may have variations or faults. So we talk about book we talk about distributing Prabhupada books only. That's Sankirtan. Okay. Any questions on that? I thought it was important to understand what it means.
So, Prabhuji, you mean holy name is the only complete glorification of the Lord. That's what you mean, right?
Chanting the holy name is because Krishna is complete, yes. Now, if you're going to
Other
say
than
Ram is complete, yes, he is. All the Vishnu Tattvas are complete. But in the age of Kali Yuga, we chant holy name of Krishna. Even when we say Hare Ram, that refers to Krishna.
Okay, so that's the complete glorification of the complete Krishna, like
Complete
the
Supreme
perfect.
Personality of Godhead, yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Anybody else? Okay.
Prabhuji, you said three things. Complete glorification of complete personality of Godhead in what? The third thing.
No, I said group of people chanting loudly.
Loudly.
Complete glorification of the
Yes.
Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Krishna.
Okay, loudly. Okay, I was missing this word loudly.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
That's why I asked you again.
Prabhuji, one more question.
Huh.
Sankirtan has to happen in a group. So,
well, no,
just.
Yeah, Sankirtan by definition is in a group. You can chant alone. That's not the point. But it's called
Okay,
bhajan.
so you.
This is called bhajan.
Bhajan. That's called Kirtan or Bhajan, not Sankirtan, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay. So reading Srimad Bhagavatam is Kirtan or Bhajan. Am I correct?
It's Kirtan. Shravanam Kirtanam, so Kirtan.
It's Kirtan. It's not Sankirtan, is it?
No, it's not Sankirtan.
Am I correct? Okay.
Unless you're reading Bhagavatam to bunch of people, then maybe you can Sankirtan.
Then maybe. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Prabhuji, I want to thank you for these beautiful insights of Kirtan.
Oh, you're welcome.
From last class also, Prabhuji, like we have been doing it, but these are some very important insights to know about Kirtan. I never thought this angle for Kirtan. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Text 35. कपाट दिया कीर्तन करे परम आवेशे पाखंडी हंसते आई से न पाए प्रवेशे. This ecstatic chanting was performed with the doors closed so that non-believers who came to make fun could not gain entrance. Let's read the purport. We'll talk about this then.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Go ahead, yeah.
Chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is open to everyone, but sometimes non-believers come to disturb the ceremony of chanting. It is indicated herein that under such circumstances, the temple doors should be closed. Only bona fide chanters should be admitted, others should not. But when there is a large-scale congregation chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we keep our temples open for everyone. Oh, we will continue. To join, and by the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this policy has given good results.
Yeah. So the
Hare
point
Krishna.
being made here is when you have a non-believer among you, the mood becomes different. Does anybody know any example of Lord Chaitanya stopping Kirtan? In the middle of it, he'll stop, say, I don't want to go on anymore. Anybody knows any story?
And
Like
there was that brahmachari who entered in the kirtan
okay.
when the kirtan was happening. And if I'm not wrong, Thakur allowed one brahmachari who was insisting
Yes,
on
yes,
joining the
yes.
kirtan.
Yes. Yes. Any other example? She was Maharaj's Pandit's mother-in-law. She was not a devotee. And she came in. And both times,
Mhm.
Lord Chaitanya stopped. He said, there's something not right. I'm not getting the same ecstasy. And everybody said, but there's nothing wrong. Everything's same. He said, no, something is not right. Then they
Oh
looked.
my God.
And Chaitanya said, there's somebody here who shouldn't be here. And Shiva Pandit said, no, we closed the doors. There's nobody here. He said, no, there's something not right. So they looked and found his mother-in-law. So Shiva Pandit held his mother-in-law by the hair and threw her out. Because you're spoiling the mood of my Lord. So similarly, like, when we invite people to our home, there's two ways, two things. One is sometimes you want to invite people who are not devotees so they can become devotees, which is fine. Then that's the mood you are in. But with them, you will not enjoy the kirtan the way you would with, few other good devotees. So it's different mood, different objective. But a lot of times, it's like, for example, there's an orchestra and everybody's playing the music very well except one person who's out of sync. And the whole orchestra is ruined, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
That's
Prabhuji,
right.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if you take me and give me a violin, put in an orchestra, I mean, I'll ruin the whole thing. I have no sense of music. So that's the whole thing. Like when you are having kirtan, if somebody is not right, it just won't be the same. Okay, so that's very, very important. Text 36. Kirtan shuni bahire tara jwali puri mare, shivasere dukh dite nana yukti kare. So now here's the envious people. Thus, the non-believers almost burned to ashes and died out of envy. So actually, the literal translation in Hindi would be Jal bhun ke mar gaye. But I know most people don't understand Hindi. Some people don't understand Hindi here. So saying burned to ashes and died out of envy. To retaliate, they planned various ways to give trouble to Shiva's Thakur. So now they're saying, how dare they not invite us? So we're going to make, we'll show them, we'll make trouble for them. So let's see what happens. Text 37, 37, 38. एक दिन विप्र नाम गोपाल चापाल पाखंडी प्रधान से दुर्मुख वाचाल भवानी पूजार सब सामग्री लोया रात्रिशी वासेरे द्वारे स्थान ले पाइया. Translation. One night, while Kirtan was going on inside Shiva's Thakur's house, a Brahmin named Gopal Chapala, the chief of the non-believers, What's the Hindi for non-believer? The Hindi word for non-believer?
Nastic, Prabhuji.
Nastic, what's the word
Nastic.
which I'm using here? Use the word pakhandi.
Pakhandi.
Nastic is correct also. Here we're using the word pakhandi. Chief of the non-believer, who was talkative and very rough in his speech, placed
Krishna.
paraphernalia of worshipping the goddess Durga outside Shiva's Thakur's door.
Oh my God.
Now, they're trying to give Shiva's Thakur bad name. Let's read the purport.
Prabhuji, may I read,
I can
please?
refer.
Of course you can, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I don't know, should I or the other Mataji? Okay, I'll read.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you. This Brahman.
Did you go on mute? Please, Sundari Mataji, क्या कर दिया? Shalini Mataji, we can't hear you.
Oh, you cannot hear me?
No, not at all.
We can, Prabhu.
We can hear, Prabhu.
We could.
Oh, okay. For some reason I couldn't. Can you start again, please? I'm sorry.
Sure, Prabhu. This Brahmana, Gopala Chapala, wanted to defame Srivas Thakur by proving that he was actually a Shatka, or a worshipper of Bhavani, the goddess Durga, but was externally posing as a Vaishnava. In Bengal, there is perpetual competition between the devotees of goddess Kali and devotees of Lord Krishna. Generally, Bengalis, especially those who are meat eaters and drunkards, are very much attracted to worshipping the goddess Durga, Kali, Shitala, and Chandi. Such devotees, who are known as Shaktas or worshippers of Shakti Tattva, are always envious of Vaishnavas. Since Srivas Thakur was a well-known and respected Vaishnava in Navadvip, Gopal Chapala wanted to reduce his prestige by bringing him down to the platform of Shaktas. Therefore, outside Srivas Thakur's door, he placed various paraphernalia for worshipping Bhavani, the wife of Lord Shiva, such as a red flower, a plantain leaf, a pot of wine, and reddish sandalwood paste. In the morning, when Srivas Thakur saw all this paraphernalia in front of his door, he called for the respectable gentlemen of the neighborhood and showed them that at night he was worshipping Bhavani. Very sorry, these gentlemen called for a sweeper to cleanse the place and purify it by sprinkling water and cow dung there. This incident concerning Gopal Chapala is not mentioned in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, this is what envy makes you do. So, Gopal is explaining that in West Bengal, there's a competition going on all the time between the Vaishnavas and the Shaktas. So, once again, who are Vaishnavas?
Vishnu.
Sorry, one person, please. I can't hear the voice. One person speak. Anyone of you is fine.
Followers of Vishnu.
Krishna.
Say again?
Devotees of Lord Krishna.
Devotees of Lord Krishna. Okay, so why are they called Vaishnavas then?
Because they have all those qualities which are required for them.
No. So they should be called Krishnas.
We are devotees.
No. They should be called Krishnas. Why are they called Vaishnavas?
Vishnu.
Okay, what about Vishnu?
Followers of Vishnu.
Okay, so followers of Vishnu or Vishnu Tattva. So any of those people who follow the Vishnu Tattva incarnations, including Krishna,
Yes.
they are called Vaishnavas. Shaktas are those who are worshipping Shakti, which is it's Maya. So Durga or Chandi or whatever form they're taking. So there's always competition going on. In their heart, the Shaktas know that Vaishnavas are superior, but they don't accept it, not outwardly anyway. So this time, this Gopal Chapal was Shakta. He said, okay, if I can prove to the people that Shiva Thakur is not a Vaishnava but a Shakta, then his prestige will be lowered, because otherwise, as a Vaishnava is respected more than other Shaktas. So he put all this paraphernalia there outside his office that people will see and then say, okay, the reality is that Shiva Thakur is not. But people of the village knew she was so well, they didn't believe it. They simply did not believe it. So what actually, and you see the next verses, Srivas Thakur did was something very interesting. But at the end of this purport is saying that Srivas Thakur called everybody and said, look, actually I'm worshipping Bhavani. This is Srivas Thakur saying that. And people did not believe him. And feeling very sorry for what happened, they called for a sweeper to clean the place. Actually cleanse the place, which means more than cleaning. And purify it by sprinkling water and cow dung there. So those very people who Gopal Chapal was trying to impress that Srivas Thakur is a Shakta, not only did not believe, but they also helped clean up the place. Okay, so let's read the next verse. केलार पात ऊपर थूल बड़ उड़ फूल हरिद्रा सिंदूर और रक्त चंदन तंदूल. On the upper portion of a plantain leaf, he placed such paraphernalia for worship as oda phula, turmeric, vermilion, red sandalwood paste, and rice. Text 40. मध्य भांड पाशे धरी निज घरे गेल प्रातःकाले शिवास्तः तो देखिल. He placed a pot of wine beside all this, and in the morning, when Srivas Thakur opened the door, he saw this paraphernalia. So, text 39 and text 40 are basically telling you what the Shaktas do. So, turmeric, vermilion, sandalwood paste, rice, etc., along with pot of wine, they do all that on a piece of leaf of banana leaf. And that's part of the puja. So this is what he did to make it look like Bhavani or Durga is being worshipped here. So now text 41, what does Srivas Thakur do? बड़ बड़ लोक सब अनिल बुलाया सवारे कहे शिवास हासिया हासिया. Srivas Thakur called for all the respectable gentlemen of the neighborhood and smilingly addressed them as follows. Text 42. नित्य रात्रे करी आमी भवानी पूजन अमार महिमा देव brahmana sajjan. Gentlemen, every night I worship the goddess Bhavani. Since the paraphernalia for the worship is present here, now all you respectable brahmanas and members of the higher caste can understand my position. So what he's doing? He's doing manina or amanina or manden or Radha Sunichen or Toruri Vasashana. What is he doing?
Amanina.
He's doing all of that.
Amanina.
He didn't get angry, he tolerated. Right? He's still giving respect to everybody else. Right? He's not expecting respect for himself. He's saying, no, look at me. I'm really fallen down. So that's humility. Right? So showing all those qualities. Okay, let's do the purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I read it?
Sure, Yogesh, go ahead.
According to the Vedic system, there are 4 castes: the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. And below them are the Panchamas, literally members of the 5th group, who are lower than the Shudras. The higher caste, the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, and even the Vaishyas, were known as Brahmana Sajjana. The Brahmanas especially were known as Sajjana, or respectable gentlemen who guided the entire society. If there were disputes in the village, people would approach these respectable Brahmanas to settle them. Now it is very difficult to find such Brahmanas and Sajjanas, and thus every village and town is so disrupted that there is no peace and happiness anywhere. To revive a fully cultured civilization, the scientific division of society into Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras must be introduced all over the world. Unless some people are trained as Brahmanas, there cannot be peace in human society.
Yeah.
Right.
The Prabhupada was always for Varnashram Dharma. He always promoted that, and it makes sense. There's a reason why Krishna created it. You need the intelligent, educated people who can teach, who can tell you about piety, who can tell you about devotional service, etc. You need administrators. You need people to protect. You need business people. And you need servants. So all those 4 categories are required. But when Varnashram got turned into caste system, it caused problems. And that's the problem. Okay, text 43. तबे सब शिष्ट लोक करे हाहाकार, अच्छे कर्म हेता कैल कौन दुराचार. Then all the assembled gentlemen exclaimed, "What is this? What is this? Who has performed such mischievous activities? Who's that sinful man?" So nobody's thinking Shivashaku did that. He's saying, "I did it." No, 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 no. We don't believe. Text 44. हाडिके आनिया सब दूर कराइल, जल गो मैं दिया सही स्थान लिपाइल. They called for a sweeper, Hari, who threw all the items of worship far away and cleansed the place by mopping it with a mixture of water and cow dung. So cow dung is very purifying. In the old days, cow dung was very common for all sorts of things. For cooking, for air conditioning, for purifying, all sorts of things that were being done by the cow dung. And there's a very wonderful pastime of Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram when they were less than 2 years old. There were so many 900,000 cows, so the whole area was full of cow urine, cow dung. You go outside, everything's there, and they'll be playing there. So what they would do sometimes is they'll sneak behind a couple of calves, get hold of their tail, and yank it. So the calves will get very startled and they start running. And Krishna and Balaram will be hanging onto the tail, and they're basically going through a ride, being pulled by the calf and going back and forth, back and forth. But they were being dragged through cow urine and cow dung. And they were enjoying it, they were laughing, and everybody else was laughing. And when they were finished, Mother Yashoda, so Mother Gopi would pick them up without, putting their nose, what's the stink there, or holding them at a distance saying what's going on, hug them. So cow dung wasn't considered something bad. Same thing with cow urine. Actually, even today, people drink cow urine as medicine.
Yeah.
So it's just a modern way of thinking that no, this is urine and poo, it's bad. It's not. So again, this was to purify the place. They were applying cow dung. Okay, purport. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
The men in Vedic society who engage in public sanitary activities like picking up stool and sweeping the streets are called hadis. Sometimes they are untouchable, especially when engaged in their profession. Yet such hadis also have the right to become devotees. This is established by Sri Bhagavad Gita 9.32, where Lord declares, Mam hi partha vyapashritya yepi shuha papa yonayaha Triyo Vaishyas Tatha Shudras Tepi Yanti Paramgatim. O son of Partha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of a lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. There are many untouchables of the lower caste in India, but according to Vaishnava principles, everyone is welcome to accept this Krishna consciousness movement on the spiritual platform of life and thus be freed from trouble. Neither equality nor fraternity is possible on the material platform. When Lord Chaitanya declares Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahishnuna, he indicates that one must be above the material conception of life. When one thoroughly understands that he is not the material body but a spiritual soul, he is even humbler than a man of the lower caste, for he is spiritually elevated. Such humility in which one thinks himself lower than the grass is called Suni Tattva. Suni Chattva. And being more tolerant than a tree is called Sahishnutva, forbearance. Being situated in devotional service, not caring for the material conception of life, is called Amanitva, indifference to the material respect. Yet a devotee thus situated is called Manada, for he is prepared to give honor to others without hesitation. Mahatma Gandhi started the Harijana movement to purify the untouchables, but he was a failure because he thought that one could become a Harijan, a personal associate of the Lord, through some kind of material adjustment. That is not possible. Unless one fully realizes that he is not the body but a spiritual soul, there is no question of his becoming a Harijan. Those who do not follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his disciplic succession cannot distinguish between the matter and spirit. Therefore, all their ideas are but a mixed up hodgepodge of problems. They are virtually lost in the bewildering network of Maya Devi.
That's right. That's right. So this is why it said, keep it simple. Anybody heard the principle called KISS principle? Anybody heard that? Follow the KISS principle?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What is it?
Keep it simple and sweet.
No, that's not how it goes. Come on.
Silly.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Oh, stupid. Yeah. Thank you,
Yes.
Prabhu.
You are too nice to say that. That's why I said that. I'll let you know. So basically what it means that people have a tendency to complicate things. When something very simple, say simply. And my mother used to say, if you can hold your nose like that, why do you have to go around your head to hold your nose? Right? Similarly, when Saurabham Bhattacharya was explaining the bhashya of what's his name? Shankaracharya. Lord Chaitanya said that you take something very simple and twist it around and make it so complicated. It's very simple. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As his part and parcel, we are a servant, and our simple duty is to constantly serve him and his servants. What's so difficult about that? So why do you have to make it so complicated? So similarly, he's saying, very simple, be humbler than a blade of grass. It's called sunichatva. Be more tolerant, called sashdita. Right? Give respect to other people, called manada. And don't expect respect from other people, called amanitva. Actually, chapter 13, text 8 talks about something similar. Amanitvam, adambhitvam. That verse 13:8 talks exactly about the same thing, the qualities of the Vaishnava. So the 4 qualities we should develop. Sunichatvam, humbler than the blade of grass. Shashtitvam, more tolerant than a tree. Amanitvam, don't expect respect. Manada, give respect. What's so difficult about that? So we just simply meditate upon that and see how we can develop those 4 qualities. Then Krishna Prema says, you develop those 4 qualities, Kirtaniya Sadahari, and in that mood you chant, you will be guaranteed the ultimate goal, which is love of Krishna. Right? So don't complicate it. It's something very simple. It may be hard to do, but it's not complicated. Okay? Any questions or comments? Okay. Text 45. Dine dine rahisei gopala chapal sarvange hoile kushtha bahe raktadhar. So we're now talking about what happens when you offend a devotee. After 3 days, leprosy attacked Gopal Chapal and blood oozed from sores all over his body. Now, interesting that the punishment will be leprosy. And the reason is leprosy is very visible. You can't hide it. You have a heart problem, you have a sugar problem, you can hide it. Leprosy you can't hide. It's visible to everybody. Everybody sees why you got what you got. Text 46. सर्वांग बेड़िल कीटे काटे निरंतर असह्य वेदना दुखे ज्वलाए अंतर. Incessantly covered with germs and insects biting him all over his body. Gopal Chapal felt unbearable pain. The entire body burned in distress. Has anybody been bit by mosquitoes? Yes, no? How uncomfortable is that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Anybody had the privilege of sleeping in a bed with bed bugs?
No.
You wake up in the morning and you have marks all over your body.
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Yes,
In India-
Prabhu. When
If you're
I
from
was
India,
young too.
most likely you have.
Ladies.
Actually, one time the temple, Iskon temple, had bed bugs, and I brought one home, and all our beds got it. We had to spend $3,000 to get rid of them
Oh my God.
and get out of the house for 24 hours, 2 days actually, because they put 200 degrees Celsius temperature. That's the only way to get bed bugs. Temperature, high temperature is the only way they could kill them. Not giving them food, not giving them water, not giving them light doesn't kill them.
But there's a spray for it, Prabhuji.
Spray doesn't work, Prabhu. There had to be heat also. Anyway, my point is that it becomes a principle, so we have to be careful. Text 47. गंगा घाटे वृक्ष तले रहत बसिया एक दिन बोले कि चू प्रभु के देखिया. Since leprosy is an infectious disease, Gopal Chapal left the village to sit down on the bank of the Ganges underneath a tree. Basically got rusticated, thrown out of the village. One day, however, he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passing by and spoke to him as follows. Text 48. ग्राम संबंधे आमी तुम्हार मातुल भागना मोई कुष्ठ व्याधिते होयाची व्याकुल. My dear nephew, I'm a maternal uncle in our village relationship. Please see how greatly this attack of leprosy has afflicted me. There's a saying in Hindi, जरूरत पड़ने पे आदमी गधे को भी बाप मान लेता है. We discover relationships when we need people. Now suddenly Gopal Chapal is saying, oh, I'm your mama because I'm from the same village that your mother was from. Who else told Lord Chaitanya that I'm your mama? Very famous story. Chand, huh? Chand Kazi.
Chand Kazi?
Yes, Chand Kazi. He said the same thing. Okay, text 49. लोक सब उद्धारते तुम्हार अवतार मुई बड़ दुखी मोरे करहु उद्धार. As an incarnation of God, now suddenly he knows Chaitanya is God. You're delivering so many fallen souls. I'm also a greatly unhappy fallen soul. Kindly deliver me by your mercy. How the humility gets developed. So there's something else we should remember. Either you develop humility by yourself, or Krishna will make you develop humility by smashing your ego. So your choice. Okay, does it make sense?
Prabhuji.
Krishna, sorry, go ahead. Somebody said something?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Go ahead, Vijira, Mataji. Okay. So purport. Somebody read the purport, please.
I can read, Prabhu.
Please go ahead, yeah.
It appears that although Gopal Chapala was sinful, talkative, and insulting, he nevertheless had a qualification of simplicity. Thus, he believed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who had come to deliver all fallen souls, and he appealed for his own deliverance, seeking the mercy of the Lord. He did not know, however, that the deliverance of the fallen does not consist of curing their bodily diseases, although it is also a fact that when a man is delivered from the material clutches, his material bodily diseases are automatically cured. Gopala Chapala simply wanted to be delivered from the bodily suffering of leprosy. But Sri Chaitanya, although accepting his sincere appeal, wanted to inform him of the real cause of suffering.
Oh, very interesting thought process. Somebody explain to me the thought process of Lord Chaitanya here. What he's really saying. Don't repeat the words, just in your own words. What's happening?
Oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being a kind father, also needs to correct the child, right?
Right.
So that's where he will provide a correction at the same time. He's very, very merciful at heart when he's correcting.
Okay. So what is Gopal Chapal asking for?
Very superficial deliverance.
Deliverance from the bodily misery.
Superficial, yeah, problems. Yeah.
What is Lord Chaitanya saying? Thinking?
At the soul level, right?
I'm sorry, say again?
I think, Prabhu, anyway, the body will go away. And when the body will go away, even the leprosy will go away, right?
No. It's not about body going away. So, Prisuddhi Mataji, I will come back to you. So, Gopal Chapal, you're saying, is thinking he was relieved from bodily misery. What is Lord Chaitanya thinking?
Chaitanya
the
Mahaprabhu wants to connect him to his or at the soul platform, right? Because when one is delivered at the soul platform, all the whether the person I mean the material problem becomes irrelevant.
Right.
In the sense.
So
right. Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
The real cause of the suffering, which is the Vaishnava Prad.
Yes. So he wants to get him rid of Vaishnava Prad because that's affecting him at the spiritual level. Right? Okay. So let's see what he does. So the point I was trying to make was that a real father thinks of real benefit, not necessarily what the child wants. Okay, so that's what Lord Chaitanya is thinking. And let me give you something that's real benefit, not what you want. So remember, what does Arjun say? 2.7 Bhagavad Gita. Karpurna dosho prasvabhava pritchami tam dhamma samudha cheta yat shreya shanistam bhutan me shishastayaham shadimam tam prapanam. He says, yat shreya. Whatever you think is shreya for him. What does shreya mean? Shreya versus priya. Shreya means something that's good for you in the long term. Priya means something that's good for me in the short term. So whatever is good for the body is priya. What is good for soul is shreya. Right? Because shreya is long term. Soul is body after body after body, same soul. When body is gone, then body is gone. Right? So similarly here, Gopal Chapal wants priya. Pracharya says, no, I'll give you shreya. Okay, everybody clear on that?
Yes, Prabhuji, I am clear.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, text 50 then. Edishuni Mahaprabhur hoil kruddha man udhaveshe bole tare tarjame vachan. So now because Gopal Chapal is still on the bodily platform, Sachidana is getting angry. Hearing this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared greatly angry, and in that angry mood, he spoke some words chastising him. Text 51. By the way, can you think of any verse where Lord Krishna is chastising Arjun in Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, Prabhu. 2.2.
Yes.
Kutastva kashtavidam vishame samupastitam. Yeah.
Any time again? Think 211. Anybody remembers 211? Ashochan Ashosastam Pragyavádas Bhasya. इससे बातें बहुत बड़ी बड़ी करो, कुछ मालूम नहीं तो. You talk big, but you don't know anything. Right? So similarly here, Lord Chaitanya is chastising Gopal Chapal. Text 51. अरे पापी भक्त द्वेषी तोरे न उद्धारी मुंह कोटि जन्म यही मते किलाए खाओ यम. Oh sinful person, like he's using some strong words. Oh sinful person, envious of pure devotees, I shall not deliver you. Rather, I shall have you bitten by these germs for many millions of years. Oh, can you imagine? You chastise like that? You know, in Hindi they say you need
Prabhuji,
another.
dhobi pachad.
Ha, exactly. You know, in Hindi they say you need another set of pants. Or something chastises like that, right? Okay, let's read the purport. Raghav, you want to read it?
No. Actually, we had a question. Why was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so not harsh towards him?
Yeah, so it's coming up.
Later.
Yeah, give me a minute. It's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll cover that. Okay, somebody read the purport?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
We should note herein that all our sufferings in this material world, especially from disease, are due to our past sinful activities. And of all sinful activities, actions directed against a pure devotee out of sheer envy are considered extremely severe. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted Gopala Chapala to understand the cause of his suffering. Any person who disturbs a pure devotee engaged in broadcasting the holy name of the Lord is certainly punished like Gopala Chapala. This is the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As we shall see, one who offends a pure devotee can never satisfy Chaitanya Mahaprabhu unless and until he sincerely regrets his offense and thus rectifies it. Hare Krishna.
Right. So which offense is he talking about here in this purport? Out of the 10 offenses, which offense?
Vaishnava Prabhu.
Vaishnava,
Vaishnava
one, right? So we should meditate upon this one a lot. Lord Chaitanya got so angry at Gopal Chapal for offending a pure devotee. Lord Vishnu got so angry at Durvasa Muni. Right? Everybody knows the story about Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj. Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Lord
Yes,
Chaitanya
Prabhuji.
got so angry at Madhai because Sudarshan Chakra. Right? So many examples in our scriptures. So how many of us have offended a devotee in our life? Raise your hand if you've never offended a devotee. I'm not seeing any hands. Okay, so we've done it. That means we have to be very careful. And one of the reasons we're suffering is that. One of the reasons we're not making progress is that. Okay, that offense is keeping us back in this material world, which is full of miseries. Okay.
And Prabhuji, just to clarify, so it's also an offense in thought, not just words or action, right?
Sorry, say again.
So even thinking wrong about a pure devotee in thought also is an offense, correct?
I'm glad you asked. That's absolutely correct. So there's two things, sin and offense. So let's talk about that. What is the definition of sin?
Paap, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Paap,
Yeah.
as per Shastras, I think.
Yes, anything against the injunctions of the Shastra is called sin. What's an
Yes.
offense?
Aparad.
Aparad. So what is aparad?
Aparad that keeps you away from Radharani.
Okay, aparad, something that keeps you away from devotional service to Radharani, to Krishna. Right? So two different things. In the age of Kali, if you're thinking about sinful activity in your mind, there's no problem, no result. But if you're thinking about aparad, especially Vaishnava aparad in your mind, big problem. And the example is Gadadhar Pandit, who thought ill of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And then he had to go and apologize and accept discipleship from him. So like he made him a guru. So yes, aparad even in the mind is serious. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Text 52. शिवा से करायले तोई भवानी पूजन कोटि जन्म होबे तोर लौर रे then may Shiva's Thakur appear to have been worshipping the goddess Bhavani. Simply for this offense, will have to fall down into hellish life for 10 million births. Now in ISKCON, we often see that one devotee is trying to put a devotee down or blaspheming him or trying to show to other people how bad he is. Lord Chaitanya is saying, you do that, will fall down to hellish birth for 10 million births. So before we do that, think about this one. Okay, purport. Okay, let's finish purport, please.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, please go ahead.
There are many tantric followers who, wishing to eat meat and drink wine, practice the black art of worshipping the goddess Bhavani in a ceremonium. Such fools are considered consider this Bhavani Puja to be as good as worship of the Krishna in devotional service. But such abominable tantric activities performed
Prabhuji,
by
some disturbance is coming, Prabhuji.
Yes, I can see.
I know. I don't know why. Should I continue?
Please continue, yeah.
But such,
It went away. Go ahead.
but such abominable tantric activities performed by So-called Swamis and Yogis are herein condemned by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He declares that such Bhavani Puja for drinking wine and eating meat quickly plunges one into hellish life. The method of worship itself is already hellish. And its result must also be hellish and nothing more. Many rascals say that whatever way one accepts, one will ultimately reach Brahman. Yet we can see from this verse how such persons reach Brahman. Brahman is spread everywhere, but appreciation of Brahman is different. Object lead to different results. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.11, the Lord says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tatha ev bhavami bhajyami aham. I reward everyone according to his surrender unto me. Mayavadis certainly realize Brahman in certain aspect, but realization of Brahman in the aspect of wine, women, and meat is not the same realization of Brahman that devotees achieve by chanting, dancing, and eating prasadam. Mayavadis philosophers, being educated in paltry knowledge, thinks all sorts of Brahma realization one and the same and do not consider varieties. But although Krishna is everywhere, by his inconceivable potency, he is simultaneously not everywhere. Thus, the Brahma realization of the Tantric cult is not the same Brahma realization as that of pure devotees. Unless one reaches the highest point of Brahman realization, Krishna consciousness, he is punishable. All people except Krishna conscious devotees are to some proportion pashandis or demons, and thus they are punishable by the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated below. Hare Krishna.
Right. Thank you. So actually, all these verses are answering the question that Raghav had asked, which is Lord Chaitanya is seeing the act of Gopal Chapal as a Vaishnava aparad, and therefore he's trying to bring to light the seriousness of that offense and being very harsh with Gopal Chapal. We're almost out of time, but in the next few verses we'll see the remedy that Lord Chaitanya gives to Gopal Chapal, because after all, he's very kind-hearted. He cannot see somebody suffer for a long time, but he wanted to make a point that you do something like this, you will suffer. And Krishna consciousness, again, very simple, but not that easy. Yeah, there are rules, but the rules are for your freedom, not for your bondage. They free you from the bondage. Four regulative principles talk about the free you from the bondage. Chanting we talk about, they're free from the bondage. They're all rules of freedom. But somehow we think that they are rules of bondage and restrictions. People say, too many restrictions is gone. Well, no, not at all. It's trying to tell you the best way to live life so you don't have to have a material life again. That's the whole point. So Raghav, I don't know if that answers your question.
It answered the question, Prabhuji, but we also hear that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very magnanimous and merciful. So why would he still I get it that he wants to teach the lesson, but then why would he condemn him? So harshly that you should be bitten like this for like 10 million years or something.
I think,
Why?
yeah, I think that's just to make the point. You will see when next week we come back, 2 verses down, he says, okay, you go and apologize to Shivas Thakur and your leprosy will be cured. So he doesn't make him go through 10 million lives. It's like a little bit of time. But
Okay.
he's saying those harsh words just to make the point. He doesn't want to let him go easily. Otherwise, they say, oh, what was the big deal? I did something, I got away with it. It's like, tell him, did not get away with it. You got some mercy. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sure. Okay, so we'll stop here. Any questions or comments before we wrap up?
Prabhuji, we were talking about the tolerance, and then you said that at the end of the session we'll talk in like little detail.
Yeah, so the class is over. Anybody who needs to go, please feel free. And I think Devi Shakti had the question. So if she wants, she can stay. And Ruchira Mataji, if you want, you can stay. But nobody has.
Prabhuji, I wanted,
Thank you.
but I'll have to go.
Oh, that's fine then. That's fine.
I'll,
That's fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, Guruji, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
no problem.
Prabhuji.
No problem.
Thank you.
Hare
Thanks
Krishna.
for wonderful session, Guruji. Hare
Sure.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Swarupa. Take
Hare
care.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Didi.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Prabhuji. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna, Mataji. Nice to see you. Yeah. Sundari Mataji, so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So we'll see
I
you on
just
this
wanted to say, Prabhu, it is a bit scary when we see or hear the wrath of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like, as Prabhu was mentioning earlier, that he's very merciful. At the same time, he's very strong when it comes to Vaishnava Aparadh. So that is little bit like, very scary. Like sometimes you don't intend to, but you never know how you might have committed an offense to somebody indirectly or unknowingly.
So
So that's a difficult situation to be in.
yes, it should be scary because it is serious. But let's talk about some of the mitigating things that we can do. So what happened with Jagai Madhai? That offended just about anybody and everybody they met. So how did they get delivered? Of course, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Chaitanya did that, but what did they do after that? They were ordered to go build a ghat. You understand ghat? So they were, and then go there, again, just build a ghat and stand there. Now, whoever comes to take a bath, offer your obeisances to them, apologize, serve them in any way you can. Carry their paraphernalia for them, help them bathe, and whatever else. And each and everybody who comes, you do that. So they did that and they got delivered. Right? Gadadhar Pandit, he offended Pundik Vidyanidhi. Then he went to Lord Chaitanya and said, I made this offense. He said, okay, go and apologize to him. And then he said, please, will you become my guru? And he accepted. So basically, the point is that you serve the person you offended, and then the offense is taken. When the person you offended forgives you, offense is gone. So the rules are strict, but so are the remedies, which are
So
easily available.
this would be true for, sorry,
Go ahead.
I'm just thinking out loud maybe.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is true for when we know whom we have offended, where when we know the prayashchitta. So there might be somebody who might have been offended by our actions, words, which we may not have intended.
Yes.
In
So
that
that's why we
case, we have hurt that Vaishnava in a way, right?
that is why we chant. So we chant those agyat offenses that you don't know about are taken care of. So you don't have to just be conscious of offending. And if you think you have done something like that, go to the person and tell him what you think you have done and how sorry you are, and ask for forgiveness. The best way to ask for forgiveness is to serve the devotee that you think you have offended. Like Gadadhar Pandit, he accept the discipleship of Pandit Vedanta and served him as a disciple. So, I mean,
In case of unknown offenses, you just chant. That's the only
just chant. That's
solution,
all you
right?
can do.
For
Because
we try to mitigate in a way,
right. It's like
in some way or the other.
how many living entities have we killed in our lifetime not knowing? Stepped on ants, swallowed maybe some insects, swatted some flies. I don't know. Like we've done a lot of that. So how do you get rid of that? By chanting. Chanting is very powerful. It's just that we don't know how to chant. So we can improve our chanting, all problems are taken care of. And this is why there's so much emphasis on pure chanting. You just have to keep trying harder and harder and harder so that you can become pure.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay.